I'm in the area that is very famous for mushrooms, where more specifically for truffles. But maybe I will be surprised with some other thing. I'm not really a truffle hunter. I don't have the proper knowledge or equipment or anything. So it would be hard to do that. But let's see. I have no idea what awaits me. Maybe at some point I will need to stop and go back. I don't know. These trails, they are not too familiar to me. Once I was close by, but I never really went too far. I was with some friends who were afraid of the mud and shrubs and tall grasses. So we just didn't go, which is a shame. Imagine that. Now I don't know how to interpret this ramp over here. Is it don't go here, or don't drive here, or just a mark of somebody's property? Who knows? It's been too long since the last rainfall, and if any, mushrooms are quite dried. This one still has some moisture in it. There is a tree that looks like somebody put it there on purpose to block the path. I didn't go over the ramp to risk trespassing. That's not really my goal. So as I was not sure what to do, I seen this tree and I will interpret it as force of nature and move on further here. This area is famous for truffles, and I believe there might be some competition between the people. So in a way, they might be even almost competing for the territory, and who knows what is going on here. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I don't have experience in it. I'm not in that community. Maybe it's quite different from what I said, but just a wild guess as a possibility, and that could be the case. It's very, very deep wood. I will write on the screen more about this forest. It is one of the ancient forests actually, and it has its specifics in plants that are growing here, microclimate, all that stuff. Very interesting. It's not really your everyday forest, let's say. Very, very old one. It's amazing how these things wrap around the trees. Looks very interesting. There's a bit smaller one there and another one on the other one. I don't think this area is absolutely deprived of mushrooms at this moment, but I would say it is not its best day. I'm trying to peek as I'm moving along the path, to peek through the shrubs and trees and see if I will notice anything. I noticed this, which is probably some kind of path, could be used as such, but I don't think I will go inside and look further. because I'm not too optimistic. It just does not seem. It just does not seem that I will find anything. Like something tells me, nope, this is not time and place. Maybe I will be wrong. Just for you to get an impression of how wild this is the actual path. And this is my hand. So, yep, quite tall grass and stuff. This one seems a bit more friendly. So I might go just a bit to see what is going on there. But spikes on shrubs are my greatest enemy here. Again, did not learn my lesson and didn't take my protection with me. I'll just never learn. You should never go without long trousers here. I see something peculiar and I just want to check what it is. This is how every horror movie starts, isn't it? Over there I see some random black things, which I don't know what could they be. Oh, it's just a dried branch. Oh, look at this. It's so muddy. It's like walking on a clay, pretty much. So yeah, this part here is very muddy, it seems. And where there is wetness, there are mushrooms, but only exception here is there aren't any. Oh, it's very, very muddy. I feel like I'm going, as I'm standing on it, like I'm slowly soaking. Not soaking, sinking. Very, very. Definitely, this is a territory for some better equipment. And look at this. Well, there it goes. Just one tiny spot where I didn't spray my repellent, and that is where they get me. This goes to say, definitely this is for better equipment, sleeves. I would even have gloves here, honestly. I would have leg protection and a lot of more things. So I'm going back to semi-decent path where nothing will bite me or sting me or whatever. And I think I'm going to slowly turn back and call this exploration fun. Not over yet, but failed for the time being. So I did what everybody should do when they fail. It's the same day after the ancient forest fail, but I changed my route. Beautiful little stream. Would be even more beautiful if I didn't hear cars at all. There was a butterfly that almost hit my camera just a moment ago. Don't know if it will be visible. So here we are. Another quest for mushrooms. I don't even have my proper shoes for this. I'm in my barefoot shoes, but maybe that will be part of the challenge, part of the interesting stuff. There will still be some daylight, and I'm going to make the most of this day. I'm not letting any missing mushrooms ruin it. Just hear this silence. I have a question though. Can you actually hear the silence? I mean, for people who never could hear anything, you can't see, they hear it. But isn't it silent for them? And at the same time, I feel like hearing silence also makes sense. I hurt myself in my own confusion. Oh, look at this. Small little path to the stream. Actually, this is a river, it's not a stream. Very famous forest flowers. I forgot their name on English. In English, though. Okay. Nothing much here. It's pretty muddy near the river, and I am not equipped the best way. Will do. I have high quality soles on my shoes. Oh, isn't this the thing that is haunting me? Cornelian cherry. Yes, it is. Of course it is. You can hear the stream on the left side. Now there is one part of this area where you can hear, actually no, not here, where you can see, hopefully you will see if I get there, it's like this part where some wood cutting was happening at some point of time, and there's a lot of sawdust, pieces of dead wood, dead branches and stuff, and I think that is the perfect spot for mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms do love growing in such environments. I'm always joking how almost every plant there is trying to kill us one way or another. But there's this cute bumblebee on it. This, if consumed in large quantities, can cause a liver failure and death. Isn't that cute? Don't know what that is, but that reminded me strongly of strawberries. Maybe some kind of other berries, who knows? Maybe this is close to the spot I was referring to. Who knows, maybe it looks different in other parts of the year. Yes, this is the spot. Maybe. Look at those huge rocks. That has to be like 6-7 meters. Well, 5 at least high. Huge blocks of rocks there. You feel like you entered some kind of, I don't know even how to explain it. Suddenly everything is silent. Huge spider web. Haven't seen those in a while. Yeah, I'm trying to be sarcastic because spider webs are almost everything I see these days. Again, some more huge rocks. Look at these things. They almost look like somebody on purpose did something to them, and then I don't have proper equipment, but okay, here we go. And then just arrange them to look like this. Ouch. Branchy, wanting to kill me again. Look at this. That huge rock up there. It has like a cross inside, and I'm almost sure it is entirely broken all the way. So you could have 4 blocks out of all these pieces. Actually, out of that one piece that now is seemingly one piece. I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's see further. How? I don't know why I'm always scared that I'm going to meet somebody. It's like people will kill me if they see me. It's just my thing, I guess. Look at this cute small path down to the river. What if... I know this area quite well, and actually I did find certain mushrooms that are highly in demand around these parts. Maybe not exactly this part, but around it. And it was only a few of them, but for me it was a discovery, really. I was so happy. To try some of them for the first time, so I would get a couple of those and fry them, prepare them somehow. It would be so delicious with butter and stuff. Beautiful. Again, this is just how terrain is down here. I am not too knowledgeable in rocks. I'm not a... even though, you know, given my interests, maybe I should be, but these kinds of rocks are very easily separated by water. And then you have scenes such as this, these huge rocks just disengaging from the rest of the rock and falling down. In prehistory, rocks such as these would be used as hill fort walls and stuff, and of course many other things. And it is because of this kind of terrain and their property, there are a lot of caves and such scenes in the terrain around here. The sun is setting. And I have a bench made just for me. Oh, okay. Yes, I just wanted to feel it, and I confirmed it's made just for me. Some kind of forest fairies did it. Look, it is like a small island with palm trees. If I was an ant, this would look like a small island with palm trees for me. Oh, my shoelaces got untied. Need to fix that. We'll just sit here and think about life a bit before moving on. There are small fish swimming around. I just seen some of them. Here they are. I will zoom in later to get them if they will be visible, but they are tiny really. And sometimes they go to catch some things, I guess, on the surface, so you see little bubbles here and there when they jump out. I've seen some of them actually mini jumping out of the water, trying to catch something. Never quite understood what they were trying to catch, to be entirely honest. Sometimes I fooled them, I played games with them. I would drop something and they would try to get it and then just see it's a part of a leaf or something. I don't want to feed them human food. I don't know if it will make some bad effect on them, but sometimes I might just buy proper fish food for them, and maybe I'll one day come here to try to feed them. This is a beautiful spot. We're actually, now as the sun is setting and my brain is setting, I have something to talk about. So I figured here and there I will talk about books I'm reading, but very briefly, just mention them and take some, topics or some ideas that stuck to me, and hopefully somebody will watch this and say, I might try reading this, or buying an audiobook, or hearing it, or whatever is your choice. There is a road up there behind these cliffs, so if you can hear some cars, that's where they come from, but they are not frequent. This is one of the books that really changed my view on life, and I do not say it lightly. I do not just read anything or see anything and just say, oh, this changed my life, and this also changed my life, and this changed my life. No, my standards are pretty high for things, or if not standards, then just my personal subjective preferences. And this one made me think a lot more than a lot of other things I read. So I highly recommend it. Basically, how randomness rules our lives. This is what you can get. You can get the main idea just by looking at the cover. But it's full of beautiful examples of statistics, even some algorithms, some graphs, which I found very, very interesting. I even highlighted some parts. This is just my way of doing things. I know that people usually don't like, writing on books, but these are books from my personal library, and I plan to have it until I die. So I don't mind really putting some trail of me there, not to ruin them, but anyway. This is some random sentence I will read. For example, the probability that a randomly chosen person is mentally ill and the probability that a randomly chosen person believes his spouse can read his mind are both very low, but the probability that a person is mentally ill if he believes his spouse can read his mind is much higher, as is the probability that a person believes his spouse can read his mind if he is mentally ill. How are all these probabilities related? That question is the subject of conditional probability. I'll just drop a few things here, and it is very, I mean, it is not something that you just read and forget about. It's something that you read a part of it and then you think about it, and even, you know, you compare it to your own life, make some. I even, what I did is I had some issues going on in my life, and I made some calculations. So I took all the theories, everything, and, you know, percentages and stuff, and I just, you know, when I have some dilemma or something, should I do this or that, or what is the probability of this or that outcome, I, you know, can have a very good guess. It is not never 100%, of course, but you know. So one story that is sticking in my mind is this. There was a military training camp, and of course pilots trained on those training small planes, and they wouldn't be alone. They would be with their instructor, let's say, with their trainer inside the small plane they were flying. And one guy, actually not one guy, one trainer, yeah, he said that he noticed when he is strict and he screams and is very unpleasant toward the people he is training, they get better with flying planes. And he said that he noticed when he praises them that they actually do worse. But what happened there is just this movement, this direction of the things that have the how to say, drive to move to their average. Like every energy, every set of energy or matter or something, it has this, you know, status quo, yearning for status quo and for keeping it. That is yearning for averageness, and a lot of things we do and our actions are tending to move towards their average. So what happened there is when pilot that is training did a bad thing, that was actually worse than his average. So his instructor would be enraged and scream at him how stupid and clumsy he is and so on. And the next time he would do better. But it was false correlation that he would do better because instructor screamed at him. He actually did better because he moved back to its average. And the same reason is why instructor thought that praise does not have any effect, because praise was also some kind of anomaly, and when pilot did a lot better than usually, he would get a praise, but the second day he would move again back to his average, and you know, instructor would think, oh look, he like reverted his progress or something. This is just one thing. There are a lot of more stories, some more interesting even there. This is just one that stuck to me. I won't be, you know, talking too much about this, but if you feel that this triggered some curiosity in you, I highly recommend that you check it out. I think that is also, again, that thing that can kill you in large quantities. There is this typical fresh water, moist, warm forest smell with some sparks of mud and wet earth. If you ever felt it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very specific smell. I happen to quite like it, to be honest. Oh, a dragonfly flew by. Flew by and ran away. Or flew away. Look at this is the big one. Big fish. well, at least bigger than others. I do often wonder what happens to all these fish when the river gets dried. So sometimes during very hot summers, everything disappears or almost disappears, and I guess everything inside just dies, but somehow it recovers. Maybe they move downstream from somewhere else and repopulate everything. I always wonder, but never gave it too much thought. Maybe I should research it a bit. Well, so far so good. No people. I will move a bit further. Oh, it jumped over there. Just to check if I will have any crazy luck with mushrooms, which I don't even expect, to be honest at this point, and then head back home. One time I found a very peculiar set of stones here that were arranged in a way that reminded me of a grave. I think I even see them now. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See? This pile over here. This really reminds a lot of a grave. There is this big one on the sides, one bigger one, second one, and then the middle is filled with these smaller rocks. Another big one there, close enough. So, I mean, possibly it can be recent. Maybe somebody buried their pet or something. Hopefully nobody killed anybody, and either animal or human. These rocks are amazing. Yeah, nothing much of mushrooms. Maybe it's not their time yet. Maybe somebody picked them. A lot of possibilities. Maybe they already disappeared because there were already some days without the rain, maybe even a week or more. That is enough to discourage mushrooms and to kill them off. It's pretty hot, maybe even too hot for them. So that's it. I will just be moving back towards the sunset, like Lucky Luke. That big rock looks nice. And go home. Unless something interesting happens, it catches my eye. I think that will be pretty much it for the day. I'm a bit tired. It's midweek. It is holiday, so I have day off. Tomorrow is the work thing again. I still need a lot of energy to get through this week. But yeah, that's it. So I failed one time, damselfly, and I changed the route and terrain in order to fail a second time. That's just how I roll. But I am not stopping here. There's no stopping. I'm going to fail a third time as well. Don't you worry about that. At least I have wild carrots following me everywhere I go, and cornelian cherry as well. It's not that I'm mad. Love those plants. Love all of them. I mean, how can you hate plants? You should be a very miserable person if you hated plants. That's just weird. Like, that's just so excessive, so necessary. You won't poison my liver? Nope. Unless something goes terribly, terribly wrong. Look at these things. Beautiful. So beautiful. So hard to catch their beauty on camera. Well, at least camera can catch something. So it's not a total waste, but it's nowhere near the real live experience. The purple and blue colors are not really something you expect a lot in nature. Well, red also, but blue more. It's pretty much unexpected, and everything that has blue is a bit suspicious. Can you imagine eating a blue burger? Even though it is dyed with, colors that are 100% edible, and you're sure nothing will happen to you. There is just this natural aversion toward eating it, isn't there? Or am I some kind of anomaly? Some kind of exception? I think most of people would find it a bit weird. Well, that's it for today. Near the end of the trail. Just a small stroll around near the end of the day where there is still some daylight. Just a scout. Throw an eye on the possibility of mushrooms. Confirm it's a second fail and go home. Until next time. Failures are also good things, aren't they? Or this is some coping mechanism.